Welcome to the 2023 Holiday Gift Giving Guide. Now, in keeping with our channel, which is not too big at this point at just over 5,000 subscribers recently, I'm going to give you the 12 best gifts that I could find, because I personally use them, under $50. Also, in honor of those 5,000 subscribers, we're going to do a small giveaway. And for that information, you're going to have to watch to the end of this video. Now, these gifts will surely not disappoint any maker or DIYer in your life. Well, unless of course they already have one that you give them, but then they can just regift it unless that person already has it. So let's stop elfing around and get straight to it. Here are the 3 criteria for picking these items. Number 1, I had to use them and like them, and use them on a regular basis. Number 2, they had to be readily available for you last-minute shoppers on Amazon. By the way, all these items are linked down below, along with affiliate links in case you want to support the channel. And number 3, they had to cost less than $50. So let's start with item number 1. Tape measures. Now, makers need a lot of materials, and unfortunately, these materials never usually come in the size that you need them, so measuring is really important. What is so special about these tape measures? Well, these are Fastcap tape measures, and they have some pretty innovative things, such as being able to have a pencil sharpener built right into it. They also have these front faces where you can write right on them your measurements. You don't have to look for a piece of paper, and as long as you don't lose your tape measure, you don't lose your measurement. That's really good for me because I'm constantly forgetting what I just measured. Fastcap tape measures come in a variety of different designs, and these are my 3 favorites, and here's why. This first green one is a right-left read. And that means whether I'm measuring from this side or switching around to this side, I can still clearly read the numbers without them being upside down. This next one, the small 12-foot tape measure, is probably my favorite because I'm never measuring things much more than 5 or 6 feet, and I like the small design. And it's really easy to have one just about everywhere. This has both imperial and metric measurements, so if you're working with your European friends, you don't have to feel left out. And finally, this one is very interesting because it is a flat tape measure, and it is very flexible. The cool thing about this is you can use it to measure circular or cylindrical objects. For example, the outer circumference of this pipe. They're fairly cheap. They're in the $8 to $15 range. I will give you some links to these down below in the description. On to number 2. The Incra TRule. The TRule comes in 3 sizes, 6-inch, 12-inch, and an 18-inch. And these things are great for precision marking of your workpieces. The different sizes are good because not all workpieces are the same. You might not want a big one that hangs over the edge if you're dealing with small pieces, so they come in different sizes. They come in a pretty high precision, and they have a nicely marked ruler. So this can mark layouts all the way down to a 64th of an inch. All you have to do is take a pencil, line it up with the little grooves, and then move it back and forth. And you'll have a perfectly measured line. So I have a couple of Incra tools and accessories, and they are built really well, but they are a little pricey. But not these. The small one is 25 bucks, the 12-inch is $33, and the 18-inch just comes a hair over the $50 mark at around $55. But you know, with the holidays coming up, maybe there'll be a discount. So if you give one of these to someone, they may think you spent a lot, even though you didn't. Number 3. The Nicpro mechanical pencil set. Now, I like this one so much, I actually have 2. I have one in each color. It comes in this nice champagne and also a black. This is pretty much a complete drafting kit. It comes with everything. It comes with multiple pencils to do 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 leads. It even also has the ability to insert color leads for those times when it's harder to see the darker color. This is everything you need wrapped up in a nice leather case to do any kind of marking for your making or to sketch your next work of art. And best of all, you get all this for only $25. Number 4. Machinist squares. These are probably some of the most important tools you can have that not everyone actually owns. So why is having a square so important? Well, because if your materials aren't square, you're going to get bad joints, bad cuts, misalignments, and overall, just poor quality work. There's plenty of measuring tools and squaring tools that we use as makers, but machine squares are nice because there are no adjustments. There's nothing that can be knocked out of configuration. They do one thing and they do it really well. They also make it feel kind of professional when you have them. You can just use it to check whether a piece of material is square. Now, because types of material change, it is helpful to have all these different sizes, including this really cute tiny one. This is a favorite of one of my elves. Now, some of these squares have pretty high precision and can cost a fortune, but for most tasks, you don't need to spend a ton of money. The ones I usually use are these Kinex ones, and you can buy these individually for about 25 bucks in each different size. But recently I found this set from iGaging that even comes with its own nice case to store them so you don't lose them between projects. And this entire kit is $47, so below the $50 mark, and they are all listed in the description below. On to number 5. Driver bits. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, who doesn't love a good bit set? I mean, there's Phillips, there's Flathead, there's Torx, there's Allen, there's little socket thingies, there's all kinds of holders and everything else. This is something that you'll put a lot of use to. In fact, you should probably get more than one because you're gonna lose a lot of these things. This set only looks good because it's brand new. I'm partial to DeWalt, so that's what I have to show here, but there are other brands and they all run about the same price, and that is about $20. I will give some links to some of the other brands out there just in case the person you're giving the gift to is, say, more partial to red. Number 6, the Milescraft Drill Block. Now, this is another one of my favorites. It is for freehand drilling holes in pretty much any material. It just holds the bit at a 90-degree angle so that it goes in straight. Right now it comes as a kit. So as a bonus, if you buy this drill block, you also get this Milescraft center finder. And this is a cool little tool too, because what it does is you just plop it on top of any piece of material, turn it so that it locks into place, insert your pencil, and then move it back and forth to find the center of your board. These two come together as a kit for $13.99. Pretty cheap. But if you're really on a budget, there is also the block by itself, just under $9. This has a couple of other nice features to it. Each one of these holes is for a different drill bit size, so you just match your drill bit up to that hole, and they're hardened steel so they won't wear out. And then there's lines above it, and that line combined with the line on the side is what you use to line up on your marks to get it perfectly centered on your material. Now, another interesting thing about this drill block that a lot of people don't know is that it has this little groove cut in the middle. This groove is for when you're using round materials. All you have to do is pop that groove on top and it will find its center even on something round like this dowel. So here you go, you got the drill block, you have the center finder, and if you want to be really nice, you can add this black and gold drill bit set that is for multi-materials. That means it will work with wood, plastic, and metal. This is an additional $10. You can get all this, well, not the dowel, for $23. Not too bad. Before we go on to number 7, we've hit the middle of this video. At this point, if you're still watching, I think you probably got something out of it. So maybe you want to think about liking, subscribing, signing up for notifications, or leaving a comment down below. And if you're still watching this video in 2023, there is still a contest running. And if you want those details, they'll be at the end of the video. On to number 7 and the second half of our 12 gifts under $50. Narex Richter Chisels. Once you get a little bit into woodworking, you're gonna realize that you need a nice set of chisels. And quality chisels, they can get really expensive, but these Narex Richters are really nice for the price. These are very high quality chisels and they land in the mid-range of the market, but for the cost on these, they're probably the best bang for the buck. Narex is a Czech company, so these are made in Europe. The metal on these chisels is super nice and very easy to sharpen, though it takes a little time because of the hardness of the metal. These bevel-edged chisels are made from cryogenically hardened CRV steel. Now, how cool is that to say, cryogenically hardened? They can get very, very sharp. The handles themselves are made out of European ash, so these are super durable and a very hard wood, so they'll take some impact from using a mallet on them. They're also pretty ergonomic and very comfortable to hold and work with. For this gift guide, only the chisels under 1 inch meet the under $50 guide. The Richter line is Narex's highest end line of chisels. All the chisels below the 1 inch mark are about $45. The 1 inch chisel, which is this one, is about $60, and there's also a 1.5 inch that's $80. Now, that doesn't mean you need to buy every chisel. You can start with one of the most common ones, like a 3/4 or a 1/2 inch, and work up from there. Or team up with some other people that might want to give the gift to the same person and buy them a couple. Again, all of these will be linked below for you to take a look at. Number 8, the whacking stick, aka the mallet. Now this mallet is also from Narex, just like the chisels, but this time it's made out of European beech, which is still a pretty hard wood. Mallets are great when you just can't get enough pressure applied to a chisel to carve away what you want. Sometimes you just need a little extra tap, 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 or maybe a big whack to chop out the piece of material. This is a 250 gram or 9 ounce version, but it also comes in a 600 gram 21 ounce version. So this version is $36 and the larger version is $42. I like the smaller one because it's a lot easier to maintain when you're doing more delicate work, but sometimes if you need a little bit more heavy hand, the larger one would be nice to have too. This makes a great gift by itself, but in a pair, it makes an even better gift. Next up is number 9, the corner chisel. Now, I'm not gonna lie, corner chisels are pretty specialized tools. They are designed to square off the corner of a mortise that's been rounded out. A common practice is to use a router or a drill press to chunk out a big part of a mortise, which will then leave you with rounded corners. If you then try to insert a square tenon into that slot, it won't work. You can either round off your tenon or you can square off your corners. So that's where this chisel comes in. You take it, you line it up with the corner, you bang it down, and it will square up the corners of your mortises. The blade on this chisel is made out of tempered chromomagnesium steel, and the handle is European hornbeam. If you're looking for something to get someone who has everything, this might be a good option because it's not a super common tool, and it can be pretty impressive when you whip one of these out when you see someone struggling to square off their corners with a standard chisel. This chisel comes in just under budget at $48. We're down to our final 3 gifts under $50, and the next up is number 10, the Tack Toolbox Organization System by DeWalt. Now, toolboxes are in the news a lot these days with all these new systems coming out, and this one gets kind of forgotten. It's a little smaller than some of the new ones like the Tough Built and the Milwaukee Packout system, but it's a really nice size and it comes in at a really good cost. There's lots of different pieces for this, including this single drawer version. There's also a 2-drawer version, and there's a whole bunch of accessories like wheels, there are totes, there are cargo carriers. So this is a whole system, and the best part about it is each component comes in at about $30. Now that we have all these new tools, we're gonna need some place to put them, and this system will keep us nice and organized. Just look at me, I use them all over the place. Look how organized I am. Well, imagine what it would look like if I didn't have this. If you're looking for a gift that can keep growing with the person you're gifting this to, this is a really great option. On to gift number 11, the Brother P-Touch D220. Since we've just been talking about organization and storing things, it doesn't really help to shove things in boxes if you don't know what's actually in that box. So that's where this Brother P-Touch comes in. It is a very simple and very affordable label maker at $40 that allows you to make all the labels for all your little compartments, all your little bins, so you know exactly what's in there. It has a nice keyboard to make entry really easy, and it also has a bunch of different templates and things that are kind of fun, including Christmas stuff and tool pictures and all these other kind of wonderful things that you can just waste a lot of time on. There are millions of uses for a label maker, and since this one is under $50, it made this year's list. The 12th and final gift on our 2023 list of gifts under $50 is the Ryobi Cordless Hot Glue Gun. This is model P306, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit here. This one kind of breaks our $50 rule just a little bit. The hot glue gun itself Well, that comes in at $30. However, it does not come with any batteries or a charger. If you already have a Ryobi fan in your life that already has Ryobi tools and Ryobi batteries and chargers, this one is perfect and meets our guidelines of being under $50. Separately, this 2 amp hour battery pack that just snaps on like this and charger retail for about $50 on its own. However, right now there's a kit that includes both that is selling for $68. Now, the nice thing about a cordless hot glue gun is that you do not need to have it plugged in all the time. It heats up in the base and then you can take it off and you can use it and then you put it back on the base. This eliminates any kind of cords to trip over. This is one of my favorite things for when I am milling wood and I need to hot glue long timbers to run it through on the sled through the power planer. There are pretty much endless uses for a hot glue gun. Let's face it, we all know this is probably one of the most useful tools you can have around the house. Well, that's it. We made it through our list. We've gone through 12 different items and a couple bonus items that are all under $50 that are sure to make someone in your life very, very happy. Hopefully this list gave you some good ideas. All the items I just showed you are linked down in the description with Amazon affiliate links. And if you have any question on any item, just leave a comment below and I'll make sure I answer it. And if you find an item cheaper someplace else, go buy it there. I will not feel bad if you don't use the link. But if it's the same price, use the link. Let's get to the contest. Now, year was to grow this channel to 10,000 subscribers. So far, I have not reached that 10,000 subscriber goal. But I did get to 5,000 and I think I should celebrate that. In honor of 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away one of these items. All you have to do is leave a comment down below and start it off using a special hashtag that will appear on screen in a few seconds. And tell me which one of these items, if you had $50 or a combination of items, because some of them are much less than $50, would you like to have on your own gift list? What would you like to receive? Then I will run this contest through the end of 2023, and on New Year's Eve, hopefully on New Year's Eve, we'll see what happens, but it should be around New Year's Eve, I will select a winner at random, or winners, and send this out to you. The only caveat is you have to be able to receive a package from Amazon Prime. As long as that can happen, I can send it to you. So go ahead and enter. As a little bonus to that, for every subscriber 1,000 count that we get above 5,000, so if we hit 6,000, 7,000, etc., all the way up to 10,000, I will give away one extra one. If we hit 10,000 subscribers by some sort of miracle by the end of the year, there'll be 5 gift packages going out. Also, if we do hit that 10,000 subscriber mark and, fulfill what my last year's goal was for the channel, I will pick an extra winner, and that winner will get something extra special. So please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about this video, and for all of you that made it the bourbon's not included. Well, maybe if we get to 10,000.